since 2010, yes, fitness became a very integral part of my life. Because I was actually very heavy, and I don't know kilograms, but in pounds, I was 240 pounds back in early 2007 or 2010. And I went on a fitness program where I actually lost 60 pounds in 3 months. So I got down to 180 pounds.
Fantastic.
And states have, and it's interesting just how interconnected we really are.
Oh,
Phenomenal. So now most of the people like you and I have never met. You and I we just recently started talking to each other. So we're strangers, but it's interesting how we can connect over a like a show like this. So what my big thing is, why am I doing the show? Because being an entrepreneur, a business strategist or entrepreneur strategist, or helping people get the confidence to go from their corporate world to becoming an entrepreneur, that's what I interview other people about. I was born and raised, although my accent doesn't, you won't be able to tell it, that's where I'm from. I was born and raised in a town just outside of Pensacola, Florida, which is the northwest part of Florida. Florida looks, if you look at that state, it looks kind of like a 7. So I would be right where a thumbnail would be as far as that is. So it's a very northern, western part. But I've lived in North Carolina and I've also lived in Nevada. But my accent comes from when I was in the late 80s and all the way to 1990 when I was serving in the U.S. Navy. I mean, even though I teach people on confidence, I teach people on mindsets. Yes, there are times when I am challenged by that. Or let's say I'm launching some new product and it's not selling or something along those lines. Then yes, I'm going to question myself. For me, I question myself for like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong?
so for other people, what are your questions? Because I watched you very closely the other day on something, and I thought, he's got the information, he's got the manner, and yet he's not pushing out all the power. Something was a bit held back, and I don't see it now, but during that I did.
Well, if you're talking about any of my interviews, I try to actually do my interviews where I am a little bit more reserved because the show is about the guest. And so I don't need to have somebody on the show and then I just monopolize the conversation. That's just not me.
You can remember.
For the one I remember, I was always a happy kid. I was, I mean, even through high school, I was always the one smiling the most. Everybody's, I was always just very, very happy kid growing up. And I like to say I'm still usually a pretty happy person even to this day. So I do smile a lot. I am a relaxed person. As a kid, I do remember, because this was back in if you were talking about 1 to 6, then that was the late 1960s and early 1970s. So because I'm 51 at the time of this recording, and just growing up back then, I mean, technology was very, very limited. I mean, our first TV was not remote control. I mean, it was way, way limited. But I remember for 1 to 6, I mean, just being a very happy kid. I mean, oh, wow. That's a very loaded question. Well, when I got out of the service, I went back to school and I got my degree. One time I was a triple major. So I was majoring in physics, mathematics, and psychology. But I ended up with a bachelor's in mathematics and the minor in psychology. And then I went to graduate school originally for oceanography, but then meteorology. So I was working on a lot of computer programs using Fortran. Later on, I would have to use JCL and what is that? I forget the name. I forget that one. I was going on the hike, and I saw the easy, and I said, okay, I got this moderate trail. I'll go down this moderate trail. When I came back, I realized the moderate trail was actually extremely difficult trail.
But at least you had to go.
Yeah, well, it was probably not very, because when I got close to where the entrance of the thing was, I sat under a little bush, little tree bush, and I just sat there for like 20 minutes. I mean, I was almost out of water, and I know I was lightheaded. I was dizzy. So therefore, I knew I was dehydrated and was most likely suffering from a mild form of heat exhaustion.
Wow.
I did start to gain a little bit of weight back. I got up to 200 pounds. I had a stroke about 3 months ago. And since having that, I got back, and that was another rude awakening for me, but that made me get back down. I've lost about 12, 14 pounds since the stroke. So I'm now maintaining, because I'm very cognizant of what I'm eating and what I'm doing.
Fantastic. Now I'm going to be cheeky now.
Okay.
Well, you've got a really good appearance. You look really physically healthy. It's quite a surprise to me to tell me that you had a heart attack 3 months ago. So you're obviously doing some good things because you look good and healthy and everything. Why then is your Facebook picture hiding a little bit?
My Facebook picture should be a picture of me wearing the same shirt, actually, the same black
But
shirt.
it's sort of like it's like I can't quite see you.
Oh, I'll have to go look at that. I thought it was that if it was the one with me in the black shirt with the bushes that I'm leaning against. That was done by a photographer, and that was actually a throwaway picture that I actually used.
I'm looking at you. Well, you look fit and healthy now, I can tell you. And you
Well, thank
got
you.
a solid voice, good smile. I mean, wow, you know.
And then my third book, I just started writing it about a month ago. I'm pretty much done with it. I just need to go and do a couple other edits, and I'm going to send it to the editor. It's called The Winner's Code, and the working subtitle is Secrets of the Winner's Mindset. So what I did was I created 8 mindsets that we all go through. One is the winner's mindset, which is the proverbial win-win. And the other ones are different variations of win, lose, 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 win, and things like that. So as an example, one of the other 7 mindsets is going to be what I call the egocentric or the egotistical mindset. That's where you're putting yourself first. You don't really care if the other person wins or not. And then I go into different variations of that. Like I got another one called what I'm calling the pretender mindset. That's not me being nice to you, Lance, putting you out, hey, I got your back, I got your back. And the only reason I'm doing it is so I can get something from you. It's also the manipulator. Or the con artist, or the whatever, and so those people exist. So even though egotistical and pretender are very close to each other, one is actually I'm just after what I want, while the other one is how can I take advantage of this person to get what I want. So there's slightly different thought patterns in
That
this.
sounds real.
Well, the book is broken down into 4 sections, and the first section is just what is the different mindset types and tools that you can use. The second one is what is the winner's mindset in your relationships with your spouse, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, kids, grandparents, parents, in-laws, and even your friends. And then the last chapter in the second section is your relationship with yourself. Then I move into what is the winner's mindset in the workplace? How do you show up with the other coworkers, with the people that are above you or the people that you are ahead of, that you're above? Then the last section is the winner's mindset as an entrepreneur. How are you with your clients? How are you with your vendors, your employees? What about your competitors? Do you look at them as competitors, or can you actually make some kind of relationship with them that's actually a win-win for both of you? So that's what the winner's mindset is about. It covers all 4 or all 3 different areas.
That actually sounds great.
If you help enough people succeed, you will succeed yourself. And that's what it's based off of. It's like if you're there just to get and take, yeah, you could win. You could even win short term. You could even win long term. But what's that going to do to you over time? Philanthropist, giver, wonderful husband, wonderful man. There and is gone like a Star Trek or a hyperspace like in Star Wars. I mean, because the reason I'm saying that, or possibly even the colonization of the moon or Mars, but because it's what we can see now as being impossible. In the future, is going to be seen possible, and actually, it's going to be happenstance. When we broke the sound barrier, that was like that's impossible. When the first runner that broke the 4-minute mile, that was impossible. Now, once that first person did it, we can do it on a daily basis now.
I get you.
Well, what I'm going to say is for those of you out there that are on the fence about starting a business, definitely give myself a call or go to my website, which is www.kevinadunlap, that's with ap.com, Kevin, the letter A, D as in dog, UNLAP.com. Just go there, check it out. I've got my podcast under the media tab there. You can also contact me. I have free gifts on there as well. And if you're looking to do some coaching, just drop me a line on Facebook or on kevinadunlap.com, and we can set up a time to do a quick little 30-minute strategy session to see where you are right now, where your goals are, and what have you. And then we can start building an action plan to help you to either convert over or to at least start to scale your current business. So that, again, that's kevinadunlap.com.